Monkey.
So the fight between Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder and Robert Helenius is fast approaching. Now if you guys go through my channel, you'll often see I make a keys to victory. And I say, oh well, I don't really give predictions so much, but keys to victory are very in-depth. I normally make, I would say, keys to victory for fights that I believe are going to be super competitive, and I go really into detail. But for me, this is a very straightforward fight to predict. I think Deontay Wilder is going to win by knockout. I believe that Deontay Wilder chose this fight as a confidence builder, which he needs. He's been knocked out 2 times by Tyson Fury, so he needs to build confidence. He needed time to recover, and I do believe that Robert Helenius was a fair opponent to pick. Wilder is very familiar with Robert Helenius because Robert Helenius in the day was Deontay Wilder's chief sparring partner. So Deontay Wilder's probably fought several rounds with Robert Helenius, and he would know, you know, Helenius's areas of strengths and his areas of weakness. So for me, it's no coincidence that Deontay Wilder chose Robert Helenius as his kind of tune-up fight. And I'm not criticizing him for it. I'm saying it's a good selection for him. Deontay Wilder, for me, is the biggest puncher of all time. Now, I say that with an asterisk with it. And why I have the asterisk is because in order to fully know if someone is the biggest puncher of all time, you would have to essentially know all of the big punchers in boxing history, and then you would have to kind of compare their knockouts. Now, I don't know all of the big punches throughout the history of boxing, but in terms of the one I have seen, or the big punches that I have seen, I do think he's a bigger puncher than Tyson, Foreman, and guys like that. I know some people might want to throw in Joshua. Those are just heavyweights. That's not me naming any middleweights, light heavyweights. There's many big punchers as well in lower weight classes, but I just think, pound for pound, Wilder is the biggest puncher I've seen. In terms of just a single shot, if we're talking about punch variation, Tyson is a much bigger puncher than Wilder because Tyson's got hooks and uppercuts. He can hurt you to the head and to the body, whereas Wilder only has a single right hand, but that right hand is a hell of a punch, and it can put any opponent to sleep. I mean, if Wilder catches anyone clean with his right hand, they're going down. We saw Tyson Fury, who has incredible heart, who's got a great chin. Wilder dropped Fury several times, in the third fight and in the first fight. Wilder carries his power from round 1 to 12. If you look at the first fight between Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, that knockdown where everyone thought that Fury got knocked out, what round did that come in? Round 12. So it shows that Deontay Wilder will always carry his power. In the Luis Ortiz fight, I think I had Wilder losing every single round, but he was in the fight. It was a competitive fight. Deontay Wilder stood in there. He wasn't seriously hurt, and then boom, he hits Ortiz with a massive right hand. Now, the opponents Deontay Wilder usually knocks out, especially the most vicious knockouts, come from opponents who have the tendency to kind of stand in front of Deontay Wilder. Someone who doesn't have good upper body movement, someone who's not a good mover. And that's why Wilder struggled with Tyson Fury. And even though Fury was a pretty good mover, Deontay Wilder was still able to knock Fury down several times. So imagine someone like Robert Helenius, who isn't renowned for his footwork, for his upper body movement, for his head movement. Wilder's going to put him to sleep. Look at the knockout against Dominic Brazil. Deontay Wilder detonated a massive right hand in the first round because Brazil didn't move him upper body. He didn't move his lower body. He was stationary for Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder's right hand is like a slingshot. I mean, he kind of uses his left hand to gauge distance. It's not really a jab. It's more so to make sure his right hand is accurate, to make sure it's on target, and then he just comes through very quickly with his right hand. That's also another thing we don't talk about enough when mentioning Deontay Wilder is his phenomenal speed. The power that a fighter can produce is dependent on his mass, so how much he weighs. Deontay Wilder isn't the biggest heavyweight. I suspect he'll come in the 220s, maybe in the two teens, the high two teens for this fight. But it's not just mass, it's also about speed. And in terms of speed, Deontay Wilder is one of the fastest heavyweights. You know, he's a lot faster than guys like Joshua, Fury, Dylan White, Daniel Dubois. I'm just trying to think of other top heavyweights. Ruiz, in terms of hand speed, might be as quick as Deontay Wilder, but he's just not as explosive as Deontay Wilder. So, yeah, in terms of speed, Wilder almost beats all of the top heavyweights in that category. So, yeah, I don't really see any chance for Helenius. I see a stoppage early to mid rounds, maybe around 6-7 stoppage. A brutal KO for Deontay Wilder. I've always said if you're going to beat Deontay Wilder, you either have to take him out early and put him on the back foot because he's not really a back foot fighter. You know, you're going to really have to stop him. You know, Wilder's the type of guy, he is a warrior. You know, there's no other way of saying it. This guy went out on his shield against Tyson Fury. He was being beaten from pillar to post in the second fight, and he didn't want the stoppage. He was angry at his corner, and he ended up firing Mark Breland, even though he was taking a lot of punishment, because his justification and his belief was that, you know, if I'm not knocked out, if I'm still in the fight, my right hand is the best equalizer in all of boxing, and I just need to land my right hand. And that's really why the heavyweight division is the glamour division. When the heavyweight division is good, all of boxing feels good. Because you can be losing every single minute of every single round, like we saw Deontay Wilder in the Luis Ortiz fight, and then he can just hit you with a phenomenal right hand. So yeah, guys, those are just my thoughts, and I guess you could say my prediction for the Wilder Helenius fight. I'm going to say a 7th round KO for Deontay Wilder. It'll be interesting to see how his chin holds up. Do you guys agree with me? Do you think Wilder will go the distance? You know, he's been sparring a lot of rounds, trying to work on his fitness. Listen, Wilder's a guy who always goes for the KO. So I definitely do not see this going to the distance. So yeah, those were my thoughts, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like. Alright, peace.